In today's video, I want to take you guys through some surprising news and pretty random as well about a pretty great game being removed from the PlayStation Store, and that is Danganronpa. A bunch of titles being removed from the PSN Store, and the situation gets stranger because it's not like every game is getting pulled by the looks of it. Only some games are, but the major games are being pulled from the PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 4 side of things. Want to talk that, and also a big talking point heading into next generation is the idea of $70 price tags on video games, something that I don't think a lot of people are super excited for, especially with NBA 2K20 being the first game to announce that they are going $70. I mean, maybe it would have been one thing if it was Ratchet and Clank, maybe it would be one thing if it was like Halo Infinite, but NBA 2K20, yeah, I don't know about that one. However, Xbox is responding to that $70 next-gen game pricing, and ultimately Spencer is saying that customers are going to decide on the pricing. Sounds like some PR lingo, but we'll talk that at the end of this video. First of all, Danganronpa titles being removed from the PlayStation Store by publisher NIS America. Now, the games being removed from PSN are Danganronpa Another Episode Ultra Despair Girls, that's the PS Vita version, Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc, Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair, both PS Vita copies, and Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony, that's PS Vita and PS4. Interestingly enough, listed is not the Danganronpa collection, the Reloaded collection that was released on the PlayStation 4, that's Danganronpa 1 and 2, but on the PS4, it seems like that's going to stick around. The cause for removal, well, we don't know at this point, but it does appear that developer Spike Chunsoft is prepping up a new entry in the series if a report by Fanbyte last December is to be believed. It could also have something to do with Spike Chunsoft starting up a North American subsidiary out of Long Beach, California in 2017 for the purposes of handling its own localization and publishing, meaning that NIS America allegedly no longer has the publishing license for this series. Curiously, however, again, Danganronpa 1 and 2 Reloaded and Danganronpa Another Episode Ultra Despair Girls on PS4 are not listed as a part of the removal. Maybe they will ultimately be removed as well, and we just don't have the listings for those yet, but this is pretty startling. I mean, Danganronpa is a franchise that I talk up quite a bit, and I often recommend it, especially if you're a fan of story-driven games. I can gush about the Danganronpa franchise for a while. Hard to really get into it without delving into spoilers, and given that it is very much a story-driven franchise, getting into spoilers is probably not the best idea, but give Danganronpa 1 a shot. It was a great game, and if it doesn't hook you within the first hour, I really don't know what to say. Maybe you're just not gonna get invested into quality narrative storytelling, but I was really high on the games. I think they all have a great cast of characters. With Danganronpa 3, the ending is a little bit of a subject to criticism. However, overall, all of the games are really solid, and I would give it a strong recommendation as a franchise as a whole. But, yeah, the games being pulled, definitely not a good sign. Hopefully, they're just pulled for the time being, and then they're ultimately going to re-show up on the PlayStation Store. Don't worry if you already bought the games on the PlayStation Store, you will still own those games. That would be absolutely ridiculous if they pulled the games from the PSN Store, and then you couldn't re-download it or anything like that. Don't worry, you're still going to be able to re-download those games. Moving on from that, Xbox has responded to $70 next-gen game pricing. Customers will ultimately decide on the price, says Phil Spencer. However, just want to talk, going back to that, come on, 2K, you really had to start with NBA 2K20 as the game that you're gonna go $70 with. It could have been any game, any other publisher or developer. I don't know, is there any sort of cooperation going inside 2K? I mean, they have a lot of games in development. Is there a game that's coming out this fall from them that's gonna be priced at $60 and it's not a sports game? Maybe it would have been a better idea for that game to come out first and be like, alright, we're going to $70 instead of NBA 2K20. I'm going to meme on it until the end of my times. But NBA 2K20, one of the games that is going to be riddled with microtransactions, and it's a sports game, so people already meme on the idea of spending $60 a year on sports games. And I know internally to us, people that are seeking out deals and things like that, you know, spending $60 on a sports game might sound like absolutely ridiculous, but anecdotally speaking, I have so many friends that buy Madden every year. I have so many friends that buy NBA every year, and I see so many people spending so much money on the Ultimate Team and the card games that are built into these sports games. It is so disgusting to think about how much money 2K and EA is making off of these games, or are making off of these games. Yeah, it's just ridiculous, and it's a side of that business that you might not really understand, and that's why EA is still so incredibly profitable, even though games like, you know, Battlefront 2 and Battlefield 5 didn't sell up to standards. However, they have games called Madden 21 that are going to sell an obscene amount of copies and then ultimately make even more money off the microtransactions. The same could be said with 2K and NBA. It is actually disgusting when you look at the numbers of how much money they are exactly making. So for NBA 2K21 to be the first game to go $70, I just find that a little bit repulsive. Maybe that's a little bit too harsh of a reaction. Nevertheless, Xbox head Phil Spencer has responded to the news that some next-gen games will raise their price on next-gen consoles, stating that he believes, quote, the customer will decide what the right price is. Asked about the news by the Washington Post, Spencer reportedly would not comment on how much Xbox's first-party games will cost, but stressed that games will come at a larger variety of price points than ever before. As an industry, we can price things whatever we want to price them, and the customer will decide what the right price is for them. I'm not negative on people setting a new price point for games because I know everybody's going to drive their own decisions based on their own business needs, but gamers have more choice today than they have ever had. In the end, I know the customer is in control of the price that they pay, and I trust that system. At the end of the day, I honestly feel like Phil Spencer is right. I don't think that $70 is going to turn off a lot of people from buying NBA 2K21. Look, if you're buying NBA 2K every year, is the price differential of $10 going to be a make or break? I think people are invested into 2K. If you're into basketball, if you're into the basketball games, yeah, I get why the price is being raised. Is it disgusting to me? Absolutely. I'm just thinking about the amount of work that goes into making a sports games versus all of these other games. I get sports games have so many licensing fees and things of that nature, but when you look at these big budget titles that are still going to be rocking a $60 price point and a sports game that is riddled with microtransactions that they're going to make an absurd amount of money from anyway, that's the game that first goes $60. I don't know, that rubs me a little bit the wrong way. Is the game still going to sell exponentially well? Probably. It probably will, just because NBA and these sports game franchises, they don't really just lag behind in sale. Look, everybody's buying Madden, everybody's buying FIFA, everybody's buying NBA, so really, me complaining about the price point, what is in the grand scheme of things that's going to do? A lot of other people are going to complain about it, but at least for a lot of you guys watching my videos, I see it in the comment section all the time. You're not even moved by the $70 price shift just because you have the mindset, hey, if it's a game that I'm absolutely excited for, I'll drop the $70. Otherwise, it's going to be an instance of I can wait for a sale. I can wait for a deal. It's not the end of the world. I'm sure the game is going to get discounted just as much. Borderlands 3, less than a year after release, we're seeing that game for $13. Ghost Recon Breakpoint, Assassin's Creed, every year. We can go on and on with how quickly games rocket down in price. Code Vein is another game that now I'm finally seeing a little bit cheaper. Sekiro is one game that's held up in price, but even that, you can find that for $30 or so. It's easy to find games relatively cheap, so I don't think that initial price point of it being $70 is going to be a deal breaker for a lot of people, just because if you're going to be dropping $60 on a game day one, you're probably the kind of person where you were very, very excited for that game, and you know that game was on the top of your priority list. Where is a $10 shift going to be a world breaker for you? Probably not. And ultimately, for the people that do wait on discounts, you still can wait on a discount, and I even think the games are going to go on sale relatively quickly, maybe even quicker, because now they're priced so high that you can justify a drop to $60 quicker than you could do a $60 game going to $50, but that's my 2 cents. That's going to conclude this video. Again, Danganronpa being pulled from the PlayStation Store, very unfortunate news. Let's see how that story shakes out, just because I'm pretty sure the games will ultimately be put back on the PlayStation Store, depending on the publishing issues being figured out. I imagine that's what the issue is, and NBA 2K21 is going $70, but other games, according to Phil Spencer, it's going to be ultimately up to the publisher and customers on what the price of games are. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.